trying to figure something out on my end. Just one second. Block this caller. No, you will not receive messages. So block contact. Unblock this. Um. Okay. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Got some crazy stuff going on. Let me see. My phone's doing some weird ass shit. Okay. Try now. So, welcome everybody. It is Saturday night. I'm not going to spend too much time on here tonight. Got called into work today. Had somebody didn't their alarm didn't go off. And it was a busy day. A lot of people were coming in, and it's it was a bitch ass day, that's for sure. So, um, let me see. I look at his phone when we get in from source. Okay, try again. Try again. So, there's a lot going on. We got Pluto that's going to ingress into Aquarius, and okay. There we go. So, craziness. So, with Pluto, there's so many layers with Pluto. And oh, what's the dealio? Not sure. Not sure. Played with some buttons on here. Uh, Not sure how. Weird. So, who's all here tonight? And just there. Ooh. And thanks for letting me know. So crazy. I was listening to some things, and um I mentioned in my I know, I'm just all over the place. I mentioned in my predictions about one of the um platforms going down, and it was TikTok. And the thing about TikTok is when you look at the stats and everything, um um when you look at everything to do with I can't even think straight. When you look at the other platforms, the thing is that when all everything is sort of divided between um Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and then there's TikTok. And TikTok's taken a big chunk of people and that platform. And so right now, what we're finding is that they want to take TikTok away so they can spread it with the other. Where you don't have TikTok anymore, then people are going to jump on to Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook. Oh, sorry, yawning. Sorry. And so with this, I find this is like all of trying to control what the narrative is, trying to control of what people are wanting to do. Now, the thing is, when you, I mean, with TikTok, there's so much.
This balance is here. Do you struggle? It's about 2 a.m. and I
You
just
know,
wanted to bring you up to speed on everything that's happened. Wait, just have to
there's
share with you guys.
so much information, you know, when we,
It's 7 o'clock.
and a lot of craziness, you know,
My mama.
but it's something that people seem to enjoy in many ways. And um it is owned by the Chinese, or the people who own it are Asian, who started it. And I don't know the whole background about it, but that's one of the main reasons, is that because soon as you register onto TikTok, I mean, they have all your information. But I feel like anything that you register on, they have all of your information anyways. Uh or can spy on you or check in on you, and however else they want to infiltrate your privacy. Um but that's one of the things that are going on. Plus the bank debacle. And as I'm, especially with Pluto going into, and the layers of Pluto, I'm finding you can get caught up with all of this. And I'm just like, start enjoying your life. Get out there, start enjoying what you do. There's so much that is trying to stop you from enjoying. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, a part of my message, even back from 2017 and 2019 and 2020 and all the way till now, is there is going to be roadblocks, and they're going to try and set up these roadblocks. But if you go out, and if we just live our life and really, whether it's the 15-minute cities, just like, no, fuck it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to live my life. Whether it's, trying to convince you to live a certain way, take something, don't take something. I feel like it's time for us just to get back and start living and start participating and doing and being a part of, the world around us. And especially with so much coming out that, the woke society, and I'm just like, get over it. Your feelings are going to get fucking hurt. Today, one of the things at work, the person I was working with, beautiful young girl, um but I was a hard ass today. I was really hard ass. Now, if you're gonna work with me at Starbucks, I'm a hard ass. There's certain things that you have to do, and I, you know what? She worked her ass off. I made her work her ass off, but I mean, fuck. There are things that she didn't want to take account, like, oh, I wasn't ever showed that. Yes, you were showed that. You know, calling the accountability, having that accountability, that's all a part of it. In living your life isn't going around willy-nilly and not taking responsibility, not working hard for what you want to do. This is where I feel, especially with a lot of the energies, is that you could get lost, and become that zombie that, you know, um can be feeling like, oh, woe is me. Oh, my life is so tragic. And you could just feel so, out of it. And this is where, I'm just going to tell them I'm on an iPhone and doing a live right now. So this is where I feel like, whatever you're feeling doesn't matter. The thing is that whatever you're feeling, you'll feel it wherever you are. It's up to you to change what it is that you want to feel and you want to do. If you want to create something, you got to do the work. And that's all about, with this energy. This is where you, in order to live your best life, in order for you to do the things that you want to create and the things that you want to do, you got to get out your ass out of bed and fucking do them. You can't sit around and just, oh, well, maybe the things will turn around. No, it's time to stand up and take that responsibility and say, okay, all right, I'm feeling kind of shitty today. Okay, things aren't going the way I want it to go. I had a talk with one of the other and I was like so frustrated with working with her today. Um and I was talking to another person at work, and he says, "You know what? It's a fucking job. It's a fucking entry job. It's 8 hours. Like, here, come in, do your work. If you want to cry, go home and cry." You know, and I'm just like, exactly, exactly. You know, everybody, it's like they take it so emotionally. Oh, you're coming at me. No, I'm not coming at you. I just want, if you're working with me, to do the best job that you are going to do. Don't come and do something half-assed. And don't come and tell me I haven't shown you or I haven't taught you. Don't come and start blaming this one and that one for the things that are not working in your life, and you're not taking the responsibility for your life for doing what it is that you need to be doing in order to improve your life and to improve your situation. Sometimes it's not easy. It's never fucking easy to improve your life or improve your situation, but it's up to you. If you need help, if you need to create more abundance in your life, you could sit there and say to me, "Oh God, oh yeah, I have no money. Oh man, I can't be doing this. I just don't have anything." Like, the number one complaint when people say that they can't do anything is that they don't have fucking money. And it's probably true. Yeah, you don't have any fucking money. Then what are the steps that you could do without money to create what it is that you want to do? Or what is it that you need to do in order to create that, to do it? I mean, Dana came. Dana's another girl who works, and I said, um, my life's a shit show sometimes. A lot of times it's a shit show, and there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in my life. Last year, if you just bundle it up in three little sentences, people are going to be like, "Oh, what the fuck? That's just crazy," you know. Yet you can really stress on those 4 sentences or 5 sentences that I could create of what happened last year, or even the year before, or the year before that, or the things that have gone on with my eldest son, or the things that have gone on with my other children, and the craziness and the debacles that happen within their life, and mommy's expected to pick them up and make it all better somehow. You can sit and dwell on all that, or you can say, yeah, that's life. And that's it. It's life. Life is full of shit. And life is full of a shit show. And when I study the planets and I study the astrology, it tries to show you that, yeah, life could be a shit show, but life could be so fucking awesome at the same time. It's how you are choosing to create within the energies at this time. And these energies are showing you that there is Piscean is a very beautiful energy. We have the sun at the very end of Pisces, and we'll be going in at Monday at 0 degrees, and that's the first day of spring. How many people that maybe you do, like a lot of people, but if you go to your work, that you say to them, "Today's the first day of spring," will know it's actually the first day of spring, right? That's actually the first day of the year, because that's the first part of the zodiac. I had to wrap my head around that, when I was first learning astrology. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Because I was so caught up that January 1st is the first day, right? This is creating and stepping out of your box and stepping out of the confines, and not being the zombie, and not being the one that's saying, "Oh, woe is me," and knowing that shit happens. And sometimes it's not nice shit. Sometimes people die that you love. Sometimes it's a person. Sometimes it's an animal, and you love, to death. You just love them, and your life is shattered with that. Yes, those things happen. But yet, out of those things, out of those shattered, out of the craziness, there is beauty that arises. Maybe not the next day or the next week, but through it all, things start to happen. Organizations start to come to you, or you start to connect with different people that you never thought you'd connect with. And it opens new doorways, doorways that you never thought would open. When I worked with a mom years ago, and quite a few moms that anyways, that their children commit suicide. And one year it was crazy. It was a mom I knew in Texas. Her son committed suicide. Then an old friend who we became estranged, her son committed suicide. Then I knew another person that her son committed suicide. Like, it was like four young men committed suicide all within a month of each other, right? It was just crazy. And the one mom that I was working with lived in the States, and still in contact with her, beautiful woman. It was, having to to work from that, to go, to a whole different place. Um, and this was at least 6 years ago, 6 years ago. And when I talk to her now, she goes, of course, she never thought she'd live again. She never thought she'd be able to do, anything. But each day from that day, she had to take, that one day at a time, and begin to work through the grief and the anger and the frustration of it all. And right to where she is now. And she's actually coaching a lot of other moms whose children who've committed suicide, and works with suicide and understanding, the whole bit about suicide prevention, and the signs, and all these different things. But it's how his death created something new, something apart that she never thought would be out of some kind of disaster. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is, like, there are crazy stuff that happens in people's lives. And right now, it is about looking at those crazy things in your life, and how can you create something else from there. And with Saturn being in Pisces, it's about, you know, I mean, yeah, love him or leave him, but Saturn is the one that, has been the drive for the since 2017. This drive to do things, to get things done, because he's been in the signs of his that he ruled, and now he's in a sign that he doesn't rule. He's in a sign of detriment. Like, he doesn't want to be in Pisces, so he's not getting that full intent, that full energy. And we have where Mercury has now tonight, yeah, he has now moved into Aries, thank God, in trying to push forward the information that is needed to come out for us to really take those steps to go forward, as we are in the dark phases of the moon, the devil time, the darkness. That's what it's called. It's when the moon is in Pisces, and the sun is still in Pisces, and it's coming up to the new moon, which will be on Tuesday. And there's two new moons in Aries this year. And this energy of stepping forward into the newness, into the renewal, which is spring. Having us step into that renewal, and then we have that Pluto energy. It is the death and resurrection. Hmm, sounds familiar. So we're coming into the death and resurrection of the old, to come forward into something that we want to create, that is new, and create that newness with within ourselves, within our own drive. And we got to get up, and we got to do the drive. We got to get up, and we got to do the work, and it's going to be fucking hard. It's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you. The next few months, the next few years aren't going to be easy. There's going to be fabulous times and greatness and happiness and laughter and all of that that goes along with it. But there is going to be work that many people have never had to do before in their life, because it's going to take due diligence to say, I am going to do this. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do this. Even though I don't want to, even though I feel like life is over for me, but I got to get up and I got to put my pants on one leg at a time. That's what I got to do. And in doing that, we are going to create something that is more wondrous and more prosperous. We are very fortunate living in the world that we live in. We really are. When we look at a majority of the world, what are you looking for, dear?
His bag.
His bag is right here. It's by the dog. We are living in a world where a majority of the population are under the poverty level. More than, how much of the population in China? It's just a majority of the population in China are poor and or are malnourished. Many people, at least half the population in Russia, which is a middle class kind of country, have an outhouse. If you go and travel with the nomads, they shit in the desert. There is no place. You just go and find a place in the middle of the wherever and go and shit. Are we willing to take away the luxuries that we do have? I'm very happy I have indoor facilities, to tell you the truth. But this is what people have to wake up and realize. Complaining about, all of this climate change and all of this and all of that. Do you think people who are malnourished and have to shit in an outhouse give two fucks about climate change? No. They're worried about their next meal. They're worried about how to, how to get to the bathroom and not freeze their ass to the wood. This is where, for us, to begin to look at what do you want to create in your life and begin to create it and work at it, because the gnarliness of the energies that are coming through are just totally insane, because it is an awakening. It is a time to awaken in a place where you'll find that feeling that God doesn't exist. And you have to be that ray of sunshine. You have to be that person that gets up, and you have to be that person that does the work, because that's what you're being called to do. And it's fucking hard. And some days you don't want to do it. Some days you don't want to create that or do that. With no indoor bathroom, and we had an outhouse until I was 14. Yeah. I had family that lived at 150 Mile House in BC, and man, I hated going to the outhouse because of the pig who always broke out of the bed and would chase you. She's a horrible little pig. And the water was a pump. She finally got a hand pump that you would have to get the water into the sink in the house, right? But the thing, we have to realize this. And my point in all of this is that, I look at different YouTube things, right? Pigs are made. I look at, where somebody I watch, they're called Portugal farm renovations. Anyways, a family that gave up everything from England and they moved to Portugal because it's cheaper and so they immigrated to Portugal. People who want to make a better life for themselves, giving up everything that they had in order to come here to Canada. Like, you think of people from the Caribbean or the Philippines and they're coming here. Why? Because they want to create a better life for themselves, because some of those places they don't want to go shit in an outhouse anymore. They just want to make a better life for themselves. That's what they want to do. And that's what people want to do. They want to create a better way of living for themselves. And how they create it and what they do, they work fucking hard to do it. So this energy is coming in to wake people up. And if your feelings are offended, if you're constantly offended by what people are saying, I'm not sorry. That's on you. That is on you. That's not on anybody else. There's a video that it's gone viral. See if I can bring it up.
It's about
Well, out of a rare victory for free speech, comedian and author Konstantin Kistin went.
Konstantin Kistin.
Have a look at some of the highlights.
to the woke on
Now,
climate change.
I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational argument. A small minority, I accept. Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational argument. So let me make one. We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in particular, and that issue is climate change. We're told that many of you suffer from climate anxiety. You wish to save the planet. And for tonight, and tonight only, I will join you. I will join you in worshiping at the feet of Saint Greta of climate change. Let us all accept right here, right now, that we are living through a climate emergency and our stocks of polar bears are running extremely low. I join you in this view. I truly do. Now, what are we to do about this huge problem facing humanity? What can we in Britain do? We can only do one thing. You know why? This country is responsible for 2% of global carbon emissions, which means that if Britain was to sink into the sea right now, it would make absolutely no difference to the issue of climate change. You know why? Because the future of the climate is going to be decided in Asia and in Latin America.
Now, if you think it's 2% in Great Britain, and there's more people in Britain than there is in Canada. Just saying.
By poor people who couldn't give a shit about saving the planet.
Exactly.
No, thank you. No, thank you. It's going to be decided by poor people in Asia and Latin America who don't care about saving the planet.
No, they
You know
don't.
why? Because they're poor.
That's right.
Because they're poor. I come from Russia, which is not a poor country, it's a middle-income country. 20% of households in Russia do not have an indoor toilet. What they have is an outdoor toilet. And I don't mean one of those nice portaloos that we get here. I don't even mean a Glastonbury portaloo. I mean a wooden shack with a hole in the ground that holds a collected fermented memory of the last 10,000 visits. How many of you are going to go home tonight and say, let's rip out our bathroom and erect a Siberian shithouse in the back garden? And if you're not, why should they? 120 million people in China do not have enough food. I don't mean that they don't get dessert. I mean they suffer from malnutrition. That means that their immune system is breaking down because they don't have enough food. You're not going to get them to stay poor. Imagine you're Xi Jinping, the leader of China. When you were 10 years old, There was a revolution, a cultural revolution in your country, and people came and they put your father in prison. Your mother had to denounce him. Your sister killed herself. And you, no longer enjoying the protection of your formerly powerful father, were sent to a village where you lived in a cave house. And here you are, decades later. You have clawed your way up the bloody and greasy pole of Chinese politics to be the undisputed supreme leader of the very Communist Party that destroyed your family.
Did you know that was his history?
And you know that the main thing you have to do to survive and to stay in power is to deliver the one thing that the people of China want: prosperity, economic growth. Where do you think climate change ranks on Xi Jinping's list of priorities?
Not very high.
A third of all children who live in extreme poverty in the world live in India. That means they are starving and dying of preventable disease. Now, about 15 months ago, my wife got pregnant. Not me, because we're old school. And for 9 months, we talked about what our boy would look like, what he might do when he grows up. We looked at baby scans and videos on YouTube about what the fetus looks like at 9 months and 12 months and 20 months.
You can go on, you can watch this. But I mean, he goes on and he says, if you, for those who are parents, if you had a button to press that your child would live and continue on, a beautiful life, would you press that button? Most parents would. And that button would submit CO2 carbons into the atmosphere. This is where I think, when we look at everything that's going on in the world, and we look at the industrial complex and the deep state and all of those, they want to exploit. They want to have and control. I mean, they want chaos after chaos after chaos. They want to create that. They want to create the next pandemic. They want to create all of that. But here it is. It's like when we come together and we decide no, and we start to work at what we need to do and form the communities and at the grassroots that need to be created and do and work hard at this, they have no control. They have no control. And that's where this is coming in. And that's why it's going to be hard. Many things that are going to be happening over the next several years that are going to create craziness in the world. It's going to create death. It's going to create famine. All of this, we are going to witness it. But in order to make the change, we have to witness it. We have to see it. It's where to have that faith and just believe is, for us in this world, for many in this world, is a very difficult thing. As they say, seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. Not very many people believing and seeing, right? They have to see it. They have to go through it. And that's why the next several years, the next several months are going to be damn fucking difficult. And we're going to be witnessing that. For those who follow me and know me, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that difficult because we know that it's going to be hard work. We know that there's going to be things that we have to do and prepare for. And doing those steps is going to help to create for ourselves and for the community and being able to help others a better way of living. But there's a lot of work. And we're going to witness people coming together in masses. We're going to see what happened just recently in Paris. Millions, not thousands, millions of people took to the streets of Paris. And they're so frustrated. They're so over because these elites that come in and believe they are the sole power, sole energy to whatever. Some aren't, like the Prime Minister of Great Britain, he's not even elected, but the power he has. We are going to be witnessing how people come together, because it's going to get to a point when you're unable to provide for your children, for your loved ones, for that of your community. The frustration is going to rise, and that's when people come together and change is going to happen. And that's why it's going to be hard. That's why it's going to be difficult. But through that, there's going to be some greatness. Through that, we are going to see some really beautiful energies arise and new developments come about with technology, positive technology. And we're going to be seeing this. And we're going to be a part of it. But in doing that transformation and changes and it's it's the growing pains that we are going to be feeling and going through. So, as we are heading into spring, which is on Monday, we're heading into the newness. We're heading into a transformational time, a time that is really going to be changing for all of us. The next several weeks are going to be extremely transformational, and we're going to be a witness to it. We're going to be a witness to it, but it's going to be fucking hard. Just saying. And I don't think any of you are afraid of hard work. I don't think any of you are afraid of doing the things that you need to do, from a spiritual practice to getting up in the morning and getting shit done, and following through and being accountable. That's all part of it. Being accountable. And as we are starting to do that, we're going to start seeing the changes that are needed within the world around us. So on this Saturday night, I want you to all have a beautiful evening. Enjoy, and enjoy even, if you following,
Alice, he says, I was worried about you. I said, look,
watching, maybe some funny TikToks, maybe it's some YouTube, maybe it's a good movie, whatever it is, to really, savor, enjoy what it is that you like to enjoy in life, and know that as much as they want to create and take away, I feel there's going to be some big fights on the hands of the government, because people are going to get frustrated. Have been making you've been making soaps all day. Okay. Yeah, see, and making soap is not easy. There's a lot of parts to it, and patience to it, and so let's go and let's create a better world and create the world that we want. Long and short of it, I enjoy my job. I really do. It can be frustrating at times, but I do enjoy. And I do enjoy my spiritual work, which is the Guru Mama. So it's one that those who know me, I've been in this long enough. If you want a reading, definitely get a hold of me. Let's book you in for a reading. For those who've ordered the new moon readings, you should be getting them tomorrow sometime. And new moon is on Tuesday. So up, onwards and upwards, onwards and upwards. Is that it? Yes, I think so. So have a fabulous evening, and may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everybody. And God bless, and the goddess bless you. Bye-bye. There goes the dog. There goes the bloody dog. Gotta love the dog, right? So have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.